Okay, here's what we got to do today to get some success in DFS MLB for today, for the May 21st of June slate, is that we got to annoyingly keep checking the weather and reports. And so far on the RotoWire is that, at least according to the icons here, the Cubs at Reds is going to be very rainy and even more rainy. So the A's at the White Sox, just want to avoid those games. Other than for tournament plays. Maybe go with neither game really. So both likely to be rained at some point during the game, or if not rained out altogether. But looking at the top studs, at least for the day, as low-risk players, we can look at some guys that will hopefully play up to what they're prospected to be so, as I'm helping to scout out the overall plays and matchups for today. And looking at it here, the main 7 games. Of course, there's only one pitcher to decide with in cash games, as he should be showing up on this list here. He did not, for some reason, the top overall pitcher for the Nationals, as that game is not expected to be rained. Fortunately, as there's an 8% chance of rain, so not likely, but still keep on lookout for current weather. Other than what's really shown here, of course, the top hitter, Trout, no surprise. Rendon, he can give you some consistent points many days, maybe 9 points or so, as he, or a little bit more, obviously, according to the last 5 scoring games. But then we got Justin Upton batting behind Trout likely, and Kinsler batting ahead of him. You can get yourself a nice angel stack and have good weather in that game. And I believe some pop on the balls as well, as it looks like there's wind blowing out with a better chance of hitting those out. So I'll bump up the hitters. And now with the position optimizer here, let's get more specific with the one really pitching or legit pitching option that I mentioned for Scherzer, as he has amazing strikeout upside floor, whichever way you want to bend and suit it for your purposes. For cash and tournaments today, just play him and play him often. In fact, I would bet a little over 50% of your games, just to be safe about it if you will, even tournaments, and feel just fine with that. And then, as far as anybody else, you can take a look at Zach Godley for the upside in tournaments if you like, as he's playing a couple lefty batters though who are dangerous for the Pirates. They could hit one out solo, if not more. So just look out for that. Moving on here to perhaps catcher first base on FanDuels we're highlighting here. Hopefully some solid plays we can look at. If you want to use a draft dashboard optimizer and tool, where you can get all this fabulous detail and ranking system right here, just go to the link in the description part of the YouTube channel here and subscribe as well. And so looking at the games that would have any chance of, or the players rather have any chance at this position, it's better to drop down, but if you can afford it, Rizzo, if you don't go with Scherzer, go for it. But otherwise, you want to go with somebody like, for the price, Abreu. It's a very good matchup. Pitcher ranked 22nd as Bassett is only 6,800. You can attack him. His OPS is just fine. He's getting some consistent numbers, get you, lately 3 or 6 points, but in a cash game, we need to save money. You need to get that money saved. So then Molina, possibly a catcher versus Sutter. We can look at playing him here, as if he needs even a couple more $100 savings and potentially some more pop in the bat, as he's scored more fantasy points lately than Abreu even. So there are some good ones, as there's one more I think I was going to look at, if I can find him. I believe that's about it for now, as far as anybody else. So let's see. Okay, let's look at second base. Second base, we've got Kinsler for the Angels we mentioned. If this game was going to play like in the tournament, maybe you can consider a bunch of Oakland bats like Lowry and stick them in there. But other than that, it's going to be difficult at that spot, to be honest with you. Unless you want to go with Scooter Gennett, another probably rained out game. Actually, I just saw this. Chad Kuhl's pitching versus Descalso. This has a platoon advantage here to Daniel Descalso. So looking at him as a pretty good play, as the weather's actually okay in Pittsburgh. I better watch him, by the way. Is this what you need to do in your draft dashboard? As you decide upon, do your research, you decide your player, you watch them. And next here at third base, so I try to round up my infield. Once again, you can play Chicago if you want to do like heavy hitter stack, but that's in a rain game. But as I mentioned, Rondon. Anyone else here I'm looking at? Possibly. You can't really go wrong with Matt Carpenter right now, so his batting average and everything is fine, good lately. And Sarte, though, for Toronto, is a kind of lower-owned possible stack, but Skaggs his splits are okay, lefty and righty-wise, but Skaggs, for some reason, does better versus a switch. I don't think that means anything, though, really, in this case. So look at him as a low-price option. And anyone else? Just checking the list? No. Okay, shortstop. I'm giving you kind of limited options, so hopefully you can fit together a good, decent cash play out of this at least. Simeon, you could play him if you're doing that sort of stack thing. Marte, you could certainly do. I'm going to watch him versus Switch. It'll be fine versus Chad Kuhl. Freddie Galvis, we could take a shot on versus Bumgarner, as Bumgarner has not been playing well, and Galvis was a bit hot. It's for the upside, purely, for a tournament. And let's keep moving on here to the outfield. Finish this up, get you on your way. As the top outfielders are going to be Trout, and let's just arrange this here real quick. If you click this, upper left, you'll find out which was the most optimized plays. Although, if you notice right here, this is the projected point. So 11.5 projected for Adam Eaton compared to 14 projected for, So keep that in mind as you fill out your lineups. There's some guys going to be, even though optimized for more, maybe because of the value, like Eaton is... the exact point value it shows here, 364 per point is what it cost you, 364 on the salary. So as opposed to, let's say, Upton, it cost you 327, a bit more value, and on down Schwarber, 327, decent value for him as well. So you can look at doing that. And, of course, watch Peralta today. And if this plays okay, you could go with Hayward and Jay. Batting up in the order. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and watch Jay. It's a great possibility for Arizona. And if you can get a St. Louis bat in there at Milwaukee, that's fine. It's a good hitting park, as well as, of course, some Brewers. If they check out okay here, which looks like Yelich does, and that's okay versus Carlos Martinez, you might play a Milwaukee bat or two, even though it's one of the better or more higher-priced, range pitchers on the slate. And even Piscotty here, he's a pretty decent play, but might make it rained out, of course. So, all right, so that'll be it for today. Keep looking and checking back, subscribing, and getting more videos daily, all right? Take care.